Hello, everyone. Good evening. Am I audible to all of you? Please confirm in chat box. Good evening to all of you. Please confirm if I'm audible. Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Jayashree. So, a very warm welcome to all the amazing students, professionals, and life science enthusiasts who have joined us today. You are up for a power packed session. That's what I can say. Today's webinar is brought to you by Biotechnica and Rasayanika, your trusted companies in building future ready science careers. Today, we are diving deep into a topic that's not just trending, it's transforming the entire healthcare industry. Top careers in AI and ML driven drug discovery, how to get started in 2025. AI is slashing drug discovery timelines, as you all might be knowing, from 5 years to 18 months. So you don't want to get left behind. If you just pause for a second and think about this, a new drug used to take 10 to 12 years to go from idea to pharmacy shelves. Now, with AI and machine learning, we are talking about just 18 months. Imagine that, saving thousands of lives faster, cheaper, and even smarter. Many renowned companies like In Sitro, Deep Genomics, and even Google's DeepMind, they are working on AI-powered platforms that predict which molecules will work before we even run a lab test. And here's the crazy part. These teams need people who understand biology, chemistry, and knows how to analyze the data. So that's you. AI in life sciences is not a tech-only domain. It's a perfect mix of domain knowledge and data skills, and that's where new careers are exploding. So we all know that life sciences is changing. Upskilling in AI/ML is a game changer. But if you're still learning just theory or sticking only to wet lab skills, you may miss on some 60 to 70% of upcoming high package roles. So upskilling in AI, ML, and computational biology is no longer optional for you guys. It's the new passport to job security, innovation, and global impact. So, whether you are a student or a working biologist, there's a clear path to becoming future ready. And today we will show you how in this session. So, let me first quickly introduce our three expert speakers who have joined us today to guide us. First up, we have Dr. Neeraj Kumar. Dr. Neeraj Kumar is a computational biologist who uses artificial intelligence to speed up the drug discovery. He earned his PhD in bioinformatics from CSR IHBT and ACSIR, then completed postdoctoral research at Pennsylvania State University, where he built algorithms for antibody analysis. Skilled in tools like TensorFlow, PyTorch, RDKit, and GROMACS, he has published in leading journals such as Journal of Cheminformatics and Medicinal Research Reviews. He also cleared competitive exams like UGC NET, GPAT, NIPER, JEE, and GATE. He will walk you through what career roles exist in this field, where they work, and what they earn in India and globally. Welcome, sir, to the session. Our second speaker for the day is Mr. Tushar Dhyani. Sir is a senior bioinformatics scientist at LUC Data, where he leads projects involving single-cell RNA sequencing and multi-omics data analysis. Mr. Tushar specializes in building scalable bioinformatics pipelines and has worked on high-impact solutions, including one that helped save over $1.3 million for a cancer diagnostic practice. He brings a strong balance of technical and biological expertise with hands-on skills in genomic data handling, ML-ready data delivery, and cross-functional collaboration between and business teams. In today's session, Mr. Tushar will help you understand what technical and domain skills are needed, how to start building a portfolio that stands out, and how to navigate your learning journey into this evolving field. Let's give a very warm welcome to Mr. Tushar Dhyani. Finally, we'll hear from Mr. Prodyot Banerjee, our very own expert in bioinformatics, computer aided drug design, and genomics. He holds an MTech in bioinformatics from Delhi Technological University and has done research at top institutes like CSIR, IGIB, CSIR, CLRI, IIT Madras, and DTU. With 8 publications in reputed journals like IEEE and Frontiers in Pharmacology, and a cumulative impact factor of over 43, Prodot brings deep academic and practical experience in AI guided drug discovery and precision medicine. Today, he will guide you on where to start, from internships and open source projects to job platforms and real world networking strategies, giving you a clear action plan to enter this domain. He's going to show you all this with actionable items. So every speaker will be having some 15 to 20 minutes, and after that, we'll open the floor for an exclusive live Q&A. So stay till the end and get your questions answered directly by your experts. So without further delay, enough of my talking. Let's begin this exciting journey. Handing over the mic to our first speaker, Dr. Neeraj Kumar. Welcome, sir. Sir, you're on mute. Kindly unmute. No, sir, you're still not audible. Kindly unmute yourself. Not yet. So I request the audience to kindly give us 2 minutes while we check on this. So while our technical problem is getting fixed, so can I see like how many students over here they are from which backgrounds you are, the audience that we have today, which backgrounds do you belong to? Can I have a um, can I have your answers in the comments? Which background do you belong to, or what is your background? We would love to know, and definitely our speakers can tailor their talk according to your background. That's nice to know. Study stream, biotechnology. Okay, Rutuja, biotechnology. Wonderful. So, what? Okay, Geeta also is biotechnology student. That's really nice to know. Okay, Ria, microbiology and immunology. That's nice. Rachna, pharmacy. All right, wonderful. Gagana, biochemistry. Okay, so we have lot of biochem. We have actually a mix of audience today. BSc, MSc, BTech, biochemistry, biotechnology, Vishal, Dr. Ganesh, chemistry, lovely, wonderful. Biotech and management, that's so nice to hear, Shonak. Yes, very interesting. Dia, Khushi, Sangeeta, nice to have you here. MSc biochemistry. Okay. Okay, Mubarak, biochemistry, all right. Veda, nice, Abdul. So I'm pretty sure you have been seeing buzz about this AI in drug discovery, right? So I think Dr. Neeraj is here with his talk. Are you ready, sir, to
Am I
begin?
audible? Am I
Yes,
audible
sir, you're
now?
audible.
Okay.
You're audible
Sorry,
now,
sorry
sir.
for the technical glitch. Sorry,
That's
everyone.
okay, sir. It happens. It happens, and our students are waiting eagerly and patiently for your talk. Please
So,
proceed with your session, sir. Over to you.
okay. So, good evening, everyone. Today, I am going to talk about careers in AI-driven drug discovery, and today we are focusing on exploring roles, industries, and the future trends. So, the dawn of AI in drug discovery. So, the traditional drug discovery processes majorly cost high costs that cost billions of dollars investment per new drug, and the traditional drug discovery process is quite lengthy. So, on average, each and every molecule takes up to 10 to 12, 10 to 15 years of concept to market. And there is a huge failure rate in traditional drug discovery pipeline, where significant number of promising compounds fail in clinical trials. However, AI AI is acting as a transformative force because it is accelerating research, it is reducing the cost, it is helping in improving success rate, as well as it helps in uncovering novel insights. Right. So how it is accelerating the research? So by identifying and validating the drug candidates, because AI can be used to learn at its own pace, and with the infusion of high end architectures like GPUs, tensor processing units like TPUs, they can understand the pattern and can learn at a faster rate as compared to traditional algorithms. That is why it is accelerating the identification and validation of candidates against the drug binding targets. Okay, so it is reducing cost to optimize resource allocation as well as minimize expensive failures, because uh, we do not need much labor as well as much experimentation according as per traditional drug discovery. So it is reducing the cost, as well as it is improving the success rate, because high and AI driven algorithms as well as approaches have higher predictability as well as the precision rate, because they can understand the pattern, that how a particular drug is binding, what kind of features or properties a drug must carry to bind to its comprehensive protein target or enzymatic target. Okay, so it is improving the success rate, as well as it helps in uncovering novel insights. How? So it can discover new therapeutic targets as well as pathways. Okay, so by assessing various genomics, multiomics data sets, by understanding the genetics of a specific person, and understanding that how a particular disease is getting affected and progressing, so it can understand the pathways, it can explore the new pathways as well as new therapeutic targets for drug discovery. So there are various industrial as well as pharma industrial opportunities, where the pharma industries as well as biotech startups are offering opportunities for research as well as for internship in AI domain. So the big pharma industries are uh, they can help in large scale operations with established pipelines as well as significant investment in artificial intelligence as well as research and development. Okay, so these are the large, well-established companies with global operations and extensive R&D pipelines. They invest heavily in AI to improve and accelerate multiple stages of drug discovery and development pipelines. They can work from target identification to clinical trials and beyond, till a drug has been successfully marketed. Okay, and that the focus of these big pharma companies is on scaling AI solutions. So they completely focus across various departments by optimizing workflows and increasing drug approval success rate. Okay, so what would be the advantages to be a part of industrial or big pharma companies? They have access to large proprietary data sets, regulatory expertise, and funding to long term AI initiatives. So there are various big pharma industries like Novartis, Pfizer, Janssen, Merck, Eli Lilly. Okay, so they basically work in the development of AI algorithm from scratch to implement to applicability state, and to until identification as well as implementation to development of a complete drug molecule, and then to the clinical trial assessments. So they have complete pipelines, and they are completely optimized, so you might get a higher chances to learn that how a particular pipeline works and how you can get in and can make your career. Okay, so these are the Novartis as well as Pfizer. So there are various biotech startups. Okay, so these biotech startups are agile, innovative, and often AI driven, AI first or AI driven companies. Okay, so they are typically smaller. Okay, so these biotech startups could be smaller, more flexible companies. Those often founded around AI as a core strategy. Okay, so they are using the cutting edge machine learning models to generate hypotheses, design compounds, as well as predict outcome rapidly. They identify novel drug candidates. So their main focus or the major focus could be to use cutting edge machine learning models to generate hypotheses, design compounds, as well as predict outcomes. Okay, and they are specialized in identifying novel drug candidates and creating AI platforms that can be scaled or can be licensed for the further developments. Okay, and these startups are establishes and develops AI on large scale. Okay, as I already discussed. And there are various examples for biotech startups. They are now becoming unicorn in these in present times. These are Recrusion, Incitro, Atomwise, Excentia. So these all companies or the biotech startups are AI driven companies, and their founders or CEO must mostly coming from the high end, or you can say the most prestigious universities, where they used to be earlier PhD students or the master students who have carried out their research, their deep research in AI driven drug discovery, and now they are working in biotech sector. So these are the Recrusion and Excentia. This is a UK based company, and this is a US based company. So there are various industrial opportunities across bio IT companies as well as CROs. Previously, we have discussed that there are industrial opportunities in pharma industries at biotech startups. Now, there are also opportunities around bio IT companies as well as CROs. So the bio IT companies the bio IT companies comprise companies developing and licensing computational tools. So these companies build and license software platforms, AI algorithms, and computational models that can directly support drug discovery and development. Okay. These IT companies, bio IT companies, are dedicated for drug discovery and development. So the main or the major focus of these companies could be specialize in creating AI powered tools for tasks such as molecular modeling, virtual screening, target prediction, or multi-omics data analysis. Okay, and these companies provide technical support for AI driven research. So whenever a particular company is developing softwares, tools, or platforms, so they even provide a technical support, the engineering support, as well as the training support whenever they are being implemented within a new organization. Okay, so there are various bio IT companies around us these days. These are Schrodinger, Benevolent AI, Aganitha AI, as well as Biotechnica. Biotechnica is also a bio IT company which is providing uh, various tools as well as various initiatives for workforce generation as well as management. So next we have a CROs. These are the contract research organizations. Okay, so these organizations offer services to pharma and biotech clients. So these are the service providers that support pharmaceutical, biotech, and academic clients through their research and development stages. Okay, they can serve in data analysis, computational modeling, as well as optimization of clinical trials. Okay, so even they utilize AI techniques to enhance efficiency and accuracy. Okay, so they use machine learning to optimize clinical trial recruitment. They predict. They can use AI for predicting trial outcomes as well as to analyze biomedical data sets. Okay, so these companies helps in reducing cost, time, as well as risk in drug development by providing their services to their clients. That is why they are called contract research organizations. Okay, so we have the major example today. We are talking on their platform, that is Biotechnica. So Biotechnica also functions as a CRO offering AI based R&D service and analytics for drug discovery workflows. And this is the logo for Biotechnica. I think all of you are very familiar with Biotechnica. Further, we also have industrial opportunities in academia as well as in research institutes. So these the academic or research institutes are the vital hubs for fundamental AI research. Okay, so these institutions are core centers for foundational research, especially in AI, machine learning, and computational biology. They pushing these academic or research institutes pushing the boundaries of algorithm development and computational methods. So they majorly focus on developing novel algorithm models, computational frameworks that powers AI applications in healthcare and drug discovery. Okay, these academia and research institutes are crucial for training the next generation of scientists. So they play a critical role in educating as well as mentoring the next generation of AI scientists, bioinformaticians, or computational biologists. Okay, so the academia engages with industry partners, facilitating the translation of cutting edge research. Okay, so academia frequently partners with the pharma, biotech, or tech companies. So these collaborations can help in translation of academic research into practical drug discovery solutions. Okay, so there are various examples of academic as well as research institutes around us. These are the Broad Institute. Broad Institute is a US based best research organization, and there are various research universities around globally as well as in India also. There are various research institutes like ISC, ICERs, IITs, CSIRs. So these are the premium institutes where you can engage yourself as well for your research as well as to gaining new skills and getting yourself trained in new domain, and you can have career opportunities further. So these are the CSIRs, ICERs, Broad Institute, as well as IISc, that is Indian Institute of Science, based in Bangalore. So roles of so there are various roles where you can have your career in a AI driven drug discovery or AI in biotech sector. So we will discuss one by one. There are various roles in what capacity you can work in this domain. So the first one is AI research scientist, and the second one is CAD scientist. Okay, so the AI scientist stands for artificial intelligence research scientist. Okay, and the second comes the SCAD. This is a computational or computer assisted drug designing scientist. Okay, so the AI research scientist, they develop novel AI algorithms for drug discovery. Okay, so they're the prime role of a AI research scientist is on developing novel AI algorithms tailored for drug discovery applications like target prediction, molecular generation, or clinical data analysis. Okay, their key responsibilities would be like publishing research, contribute to scientific disclosures. Okay, so they design and train machine learning or deep learning models. Okay, they also help in analyzing large biological or chemical data sets. They often or they closely collaborate with domain experts like various chemists, biologists for for the application of AI driven algorithms for better research or better understanding of a particular what you say a domain or a particular point or a particular pathway of a particular genome or particular proteome. Okay, so there are major skills to be a AI research scientist are machine learning, deep learning expertise. You must have a better understanding or better efficiency in programming like Python, R. Then you might have a scientific domain knowledge. Like if you are working closely with chemists or biologists, then you must understand biology or chemistry, a foundational point of view. Then we have CAD scientists. Okay, so the CAD scientist or a computer assisted drug designing scientist, they utilize computational methods or AI to design, optimize, and predict properties of potential drug molecules. Okay, so they simply helps in designing or optimizing drug-like molecules with desirable properties like efficacy, potency, or bioavailability, etc. Okay, and the key responsibilities of a CAD scientist would be to perform molecular modeling, docking, virtual screening, as well as QSAR studies, etc. Okay, so there are again essential skills that are must for a CAD scientist would be computational chemistry or biology, molecular modeling, or scripting in R and Python. Next, we have another role. You can work as a bioinformatics analyst or machine learning engineer. Okay, so the bioinformatics analyst used to analyze large scale data to identify biomarkers and understand disease mechanisms. Okay, they often apply their knowledge for algorithm development to support drug target validation. Okay, so the bioinformatics analyst usually works at an intersection of biology, statistics, and computer science to analyze large scale biological data sets. So the large scale biological data sets include genomics, proteomics, or transcriptomics. So these are the multiomics data analysis experts. So they have various skills, and they must have the following skills like database handling, Python, R, Perl. These are the programming languages, and statistical analysis. Okay, then further we have machine learning uh, engineer. The major focus of a machine learning engineer would be on for biology. So the foundation or the foundational knowledge or the foundational base of ML engineer should be biology. Okay, so they help in building, deploying, and maintaining ML models and infrastructure for biological data processing. Okay, they bridge the gap between research and production. Okay, so the ML engineers helps in deploying or and maintaining machine learning pipelines and infrastructure specifically designed for handling biological or biomedical data sets at a larger scale. Okay, so the major responsibility or the major roles of ML engineers include they have to develop and productionize ML models for drug discovery, diagnostics, and patient data analysis. Okay, they have to optimize models for scalability, reliability, performance in real world biomedical applications. Okay, so they carry an ML engineer must carry software engineering skills, ML operations, cloud platforming, programming, understanding of biological data. Okay, then comes the role of molecular modeling specialist. or cheminformatics engineer. Okay, so the molecular modeling specialist, their expertise, they expert in drug target interaction, protein dynamics, and compound stability at atomic level. Okay, yes. So yeah, sorry for a technical glitch. So the molecular modeling specialists are expertise in drug target interactions. So they must understand, as well as they must carry expertise in drug target interactions, like how a particular compound is getting interacted with its protein target or enzymatic target, or as a DNA as a target. Okay, they must understand the proteins and protein dynamics, and have a or they can assess the compound stability at atomistic level. Okay, and they must carry various skills like molecular mechanics and dynamics, quantum mechanics, and molecular simulation. Okay, then comes the cheminformatics engineer. Okay, so cheminformatics engineers used to manage, analyze, and visualize chemical information. Okay, so they understand the chemical knowledge, the knowledge related to chemical substances, compounds, or any natural products coming from the plants or any sources. Okay, they have to manage, they have to analyze, and they have to store them, as well as the manage the databases of data sets related to chemical compounds. Okay, they they also help in development and utilization of databases for chemical structures and properties and reactions. Okay, so these cheminformatics engineers must carry following skills: chemistry understanding, database management, programming Python, R, then the molecular format understanding. The chemical structures comes in various formats like SMILES, SDF, and MOL2. So a cheminformatics engineer must understand these formats while managing the databases. Okay, then after having the roles, or having indulged in a specific as a role in industry or academia or in a research institute, there are various salaries, uh, because this is a booming market, and it is paying well. So there are various salary brackets for as in a different role. So if you are a professional in AI driven drug discovery or AI in a biotech sector, then you must expect at entry level, with 0 to 2 years experience, that a 6 to 12 lakh per annum. Okay, then the roles would be a junior data scientist or research assistant. Okay, so after having some experience between 3 to 7 years, then you can reach to a mid level of your job, and you can expect 12 to 25 lakhs per annum your package, and you can work as AI research scientist or ML engineer. Okay, then after having a huge or humongous amount of experience, then you can reach at the senior or lead team leading roles with 8 plus years experience, and you can expect 25 to 60 plus 60 lakh plus per annum as your salary. And you can at this point you can work at various roles like principal AI scientist or head of computational drug discovery. So the AI domain is getting boom in India, and these are the salary brackets for Indian market. So this has a working in AI driven biotech sector or drug discovery sector has a bright chances to get in, and you must have those skills and try to get those skills. So these salaries are based on company types: startups versus pharma companies, cities, as well as specific skill sets. So there are various future trends. Okay. So how the landscape is evolving in AI in biotech sector. So there are hybrid roles. So because there is an increasing demand for blended expertise in computational AI, computational or AI driven skills, along with experimental biology or experimental chemistry. Okay, so these are the these are the what do you say, the collaborative roles or combined roles. Here the drug discovery now requires individual who can understand both algorithm design as well as the biological relevance. So that is the major significance, that why the hybrid roles are uh, uh, getting in the demand is increasing of hybrid roles. So the example is AI drug hunter. Okay, so AI drug hunter is a what you say, the a company or industrial sector that demands hybrid roles. Then comes the remote work in decentralized trials. So AI-driven tools facilitating remote patient monitoring, data collection, and analysis in decentralized clinical trials. So the clinical trials are shifting from centralized location to decentralized models where patients participate from home and or remote locations. Okay, so there are various tools like wearable devices, mobile apps, or real-time analytics platforms that allows continuous patient monitoring. And AI is enabling automated data collection, anomaly detection, as well as the personalized dosing or follow-ups. Okay, then there comes the explainable AI. Okay, so even at present the artificial intelligence has some limitations, like it comes with the black box effect. So the algorithms are quite difficult or quite complex to explain, that how AI is getting in action, and how it is manipulating or understanding the pattern, and how you can explain it to a layman. Okay, so there are chances in explainable AI. Okay, so AI model can provide transparent and interpretable predictions. Okay, so the traditional black box AI models are being replaced with irrepeatable models that can justify their predictions. Okay, so why they are crucial for regulatory approval as well as scientific understanding. So by means of regulatory approval, so agencies like FDA or Indian FDA requires transparency in model behavior for safety and reproducibility of any drug or biological sample or substance or compound. Okay, and in scientific understanding, the researchers needs to understand why a model makes a certain prediction to validate a particular hypothesis. Okay, so there is a huge shift in what do you say, the generative AI for de novo drug design. So AI for designing entirely new molecule with desired properties. So generative AI models, the generative AI models like transformers or generative adversarial networks or variational autoencoders, etc., are being trained to create entirely new molecule. Okay, and these algorithms or generative AI algorithms can generate a molecule with desired pharmacological properties, and they can accelerate lead discovery or lead compound discovery by reducing trial and error molecule design. Okay, so these are the future trends, that how AI is shaping our future, and totally landscape is getting shifted from traditional to advanced. Okay, and why you need such kind of why you need to think in this way, that how world is shifting, and what kind of skills you need, and what type of training you need to get incorporated in such world. Okay, so I am in next slide. I'm going to talk about that the essential skills for your success. For your success, so you must have strong foundation in mathematics or computer science. Okay, so mathematics include linear algebra, calculus, statistics. So these are the foundations for computer science as well as AI, AI algorithm development. Okay, then you must have programming proficiency in any of the programming like Python, R, Java, C++. Okay, you must have a foundational knowledge, or you can have the mid-level knowledge in machine and deep learning frameworks like TensorFlow, PyTorch, and scikit-learn. You must be a domain expertise like in biology, chemistry, pharmacology. That's how you can incorporate yourself with these skills in computational biology, in biology, in chemistry, as a cheminformatics engineer, or cheminformatics scientist, or a CAD scientist, and AI driven drug discovery using pharmacology domain. Okay, then you must have a skill like data management as well as visualization. Like these are the database management tools: SQL, NoSQL, Tableau, Power BI, and they are used for data visualization. Okay, and you must have problem solving skills and critical thinking. That is essential for navigating novel challenges. So these are the skills that can shape your career in AI driven drug discovery, and Biotechnica is offering platform to learn these skills as well as to get yourself incorporated in this world. So you should be future ready. With this, I want to thank you for listening me. Thank you so much, and for your patience. Thank you so much. Uh, Thank you, ma'am. I think I am done from
Thank you
my
so
side.
much.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you so much, Dr. Neeraj, for that insightful and detailed session. You really gave us a clear picture of what all exciting career paths and the real world opportunities are there in that emerging field. Now I invite, without any further delay, Mr. Tushar for the second session. And I would like to inform the students that Mr. Tushar will not be able to stay with us till the Q&A session. So if you have any questions addressed for Mr. Dhyani, please you can put it in the chat, and after sir's session, we will take up those questions. Okay. Welcome, sir. Please continue with your session.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, I will share my screen.
Sure.
Hope my screen is visible.
Yes, yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay, so hello everyone. Myself Tushar, as as being told that I am working as senior bioinformatics scientist at Data. First of all, thank you, Dr. Neeraj, for the context that you built. So now, for the students, the BSc, MSc students out there who are watching this webinar, who knows that there are things like AI, ML, CAD, things like that, but they are curious, how can they start? So the responsibility that I have today is that I need to give you a roadmap or some entry level things, skills you need to enter the field. The very first steps, like a BSc student, a MSc student who don't know coding or don't know where to start, how and how and which all things are required to get started. First of all, at the very starting, I want to burst a myth that being a biology student, like I too during my bachelor's and master's, I too had that this myth that I am a biology student, I don't know coding, I need to finish like months of coding courses, this and that, and only then I can do something in coding. These are like alien things and all. But the truth is, you don't need to master everything at the beginning. At the very beginning, just start and learn the basics. Like we know that best way to learn to how to swim is to go in the pool, right? Similarly, best way to learn coding is by start doing hands-on projects. So the key takeaway I want to give you guys is start small, start now, and learn by doing. With this, let's start. So first of all, I just want to touch upon some of the things which sort of scares us, like coding and this automated pipelines, this scalability, and these sort of things. So, what are these things? So, okay, we have this black box, this computer in front of us. What are the core tools that we can use to interact with this? So, basically, these all things like coding and all these are just the tools, right? So, at the very starting, I want to tell you that let's start with the basics. Let's start uh, with the basics of Python, right? Here, I don't want you to start in your local computer. I want you to start with something like Kaggle or the online platforms. So basically, setting up the environment in your local is a task. At the very starting, that can be boring. I don't want you to get bored and just disheartened at the very first step. So I want you to learn basics of Python on online platform like Kaggle, right? You go. I will be pasting every link that I will be talking about here, so you can follow along. And this, I think this will be shared with you guys as well. So yeah, I want you to start with the basics. Just write your first hello world code here in the Kaggle, right? You will learn what is NumPy, how do we add to words or add to integers. What's the difference between these things? How do we loop through things? What are the functions? Just learn the basics here in the Kaggle. And the good part is it is free, and you will also get certificates that you can post in your LinkedIn, right? You will, at the very first step, you will start building your profile. Next, in this age of AI, I want to tell you, you are not alone. I know everyone is using ChatGPT for this and that. Similarly, you will be using ChatGPT or the AI tools for the things like coding, right? So, how do you ask the ChatGPT what to code? For that, you should know the basics, right? After knowing the basics, I want you to go here, go to this website, this deep learning AI. I want you to get introduced with this person, Andrew NG, and became a fan of his, because I am. And I want you to learn here that how can you ask ChatGPT or any AI tool like a coding buddy, like a seat partner, a lab partner, that how do we solve this? I'm getting this error. Please guide me, or let's debug this, right? So, first of all, learn the basics, and just learn how can you use things like ChatGPT or AI tools to help you as a coding buddy. Key takeaway here from this slide is even basic coding plus AI Copilot is growth. But I want to point out that AI is the co-pilot here. You are still the pilot. So you need to know basics of coding, or you need to know what to ask, right? After this, until now, I I was saying that don't set up anything in a local. But at the very second step, after knowing the some coding, and after knowing how to use ChatGPT or ask question to ChatGPT about how I can code, I just want you to now set up your local coding lab and jump into ML. Yes, at the very second step, or here the third step, I want you to jump to ML. So this may seems like a very naive decision, that only I do just know a little bit of coding. Why and how I can jump into ML? So here, Mosh Hamdani is here to help us. I will be introducing you to some folks like him, Andrew and G, Mosh, who are there, who are giving step by step introduction, step by step hands-on example coding, live coding, and explaining everything. So I want you to follow him. Set up your environment. This may sound a simple thing, that setting up the environment, but believe me, even in industry, setting up environment is a task. Sometimes it takes weeks to debug some environment issue. I've been there, done that. So yeah, set up your environment at this step. Set up your environment in a local, get introduced to something called Jupyter Notebook. Jupyter Notebook is that interactive way of coding, like you can see, you can play that cell and you will see the outputs then in there. So I want you to here go along with Moshamdani, do step by step this tutorial. He will tell you how to set up your local environment. He will tell you, he will write everything. He will tell you what he is writing, what are the outputs he is getting. He will debug in front of you, and you will see how the, someone who is 20 plus year experience still gets into problem and try to debug things. So don't, the key takeaway here is don't wait till you are expert. You know the basics, just start with it. So you have your laptop, the environment is set up there, you ran Jupyter Notebook, and you are seeing some results that will make sense gradually. After doing these interesting things, I want you to just be with me. And when I say that, you have to visualize thing or sort of embrace maths. Like, don't hate maths, because I know we have the pool here, the niche that we are talking, who are attending this webinar. Most of us are biologists, or we took bio in our class 12th. So we might be somewhat discouraged by maths, or when we see maths, we fear it. So first of all, when I say visualize something, so it's very hard if I tell you that this is a plus b and this and that, and but if in your mind, if you're able to visualize something, then it will be easy. And in this age of AI, if you are able to visualize something, if you are able to make some concept in your brain, then you just need to ask the AI agent to code that. So therefore, I want you to learn to think visually. For this, two of my favorite YouTube channel, I will be, like I said, I will be sharing these links here. So first one is three blue, one brown. Here you will go. If you have that intuitive curiosity, what is LLM? Like, I've heard some this word LLM. What is LLM? So they will tell you, they will help you visualize what is an LLM or what is neural network. Or if you are just in your first semester of BSc and you are seeing some things like vector, linear algebra there, where there is a bracket inside that we have three words, sometimes two words, something like that. So, but if you visualize those three or four numbers, then that will make sense. So here, use these things to visualize things. And I remember when I was studying, the first video I saw for StatQuest was PCA made simple, and that helped me in one of my assignments. So yeah, visualize things. Then let's talk about maths. So first of all, don't get discouraged. You don't need to derive something. You will not need. You don't need to calculate anything. Things like that, which we sometimes fear. I, yeah, frankly speaking, I also. Here, what is needed, being a computational biologist or bioinformatician, or a biology student who is trying to make sense of the data, that you need to make sense of the data, the numbers there. Like, if you run anything like in pathway analysis or something, you will get some p value. You will you will need to infer what this p value means. So when I say embrace maths, means you need to understand the concept like probability, statics, like understand the problem. Don't derive from formulas. Don't get discouraged by this thing, and don't stop. Like, I don't know maths, I will stop. No, don't. Just understand the concepts, and as you go along with the things you will be following, with the things you will be following in your projects, you will learn as you go. Okay, so visualize thing, understanding core mathematic concept is equal to 10x better at reading results. These two things are there. I'm asking you so that you are able to understand, read results, give inputs. Okay, so I have told you to learn Python easy way on Kaggle, then learn Python using AI, Then I've told you to just set up your local environment, just start with ML here. And then I've told you to visualize things, embrace bats, like think think like a like you are inferring something, some reading some results. Then yes, I just want you to go from code to product. This this slide contains lot of words which in its own, like Docker. There are courses on Udemy, this and that. For Docker specifically, there are roles defined where people are using Dockers intensively. The use of cloud, like AWS cloud, there are cloud computing, this and that. But we as a biologist, we also need to learn these things. By we as a we as the computational biologist or bioinformatician, we also need to learn these things. Why? Because we when we have some problem like in biology, we will do those things in scale. So to do things on scale, we need resources, big machines. We need to collaborate. Like Docker is used to have a virtual environment which can be used by anyone. Like if I share my Docker with you, you will have the Docker image, you will open that and you can run things in your local. Same, if there is a Docker image which is deployed on AWS, if I'm running 10 jobs with that image, each job will have a similar environment. They are basically running in a similar environment. Same, if I talk about GitHub, then when we talk about working in scale means you are working with multiple people in your team. So when you are working with multiple people, you have to collaborate. Also, there is something called CI/CD. I've not written it here, but there is something called CI/CD, continuous integration and continuous deployment. Like someone is making some changes, like I am a coder, I am a bioinformatician, or I'm someone, I'm writing something in my local. I don't want it to get reflected in the final product, final software until that is tested. So for all those things that GitHub is used, AWS, as I told, we need big machines. The data we are generating, like I delete TBs of data sometimes. Like people are not generating TBs of data, I delete TBs of data in minutes. We are generating so much data, and to process those data, we need AWS. So okay, I have told you that I need Docker, I need AWS, I need GitHub. I should know these things. But okay, these are just the words. How you, the first year BSc student, the first year MSc student, how you can get started. I want you to just go along. I want to introduce you to Krish Nayak here. Again, he will sit with you, he will code the very first line, he will help you set up your GitHub, he will talk about how to deploy, he will write code, he will he will he will think with you, he will write things like, if I do this thing, these are the chunks, I will make the project like this. He will sort of brainstorm with you there. And believe me, when we see any new CV that comes to us, comes to any industry, end-to-end projects are very well welcomed. Because here we can see, if someone has started something, he knows how to successfully end it. So I want you to follow along Chris Nayak, and the key takeaway here is to land a job, show that you have built, deployed and documented your work like a real developer. These things are used in the real industry scenarios. And if you can show that, yes, I know these things, I have the temperament, I can learn these things, I know this much, I've done this much with my local computer, but if given a chance in your company with more resources, I can do wonders, right? So I've pasted the link here. Okay, so up till now we talked about some things like coding and all, which may seems like new things, but now I will, like here coding and all, like I said, coding and these tools, Docker, GitHub, AWS or cloud, these are just the tools which will help you interact. So we have a last thing, a last piece in our puzzle, which is our domain knowledge. Like we biologists, we have read DNA in class 11th, class 12th. If I'm in BSc first year, I'm reading something about some fields. So how do I convert my domain knowledge and help me infer some results using the technical tools, right? So let's connect biology with the coding with biology. So like I said, you are learning all the things in your class, right? You are learning molecular biology, immunology, genetics in your class. You know something, the difference between DNA, RNA, what's a promoter, what's an enhancer, what a transcription factor, what are the pathways, what is center dogma. This is your superpower, right? Get curious now. Like, just get curious about the omics, like transcriptomics, proteomics. You know these stuff, and just find something like, if you are starting, just find something which excites you. Like, ask a question. I want you to ask a question, like, if you are seeing something, you're seeing a pathway, what pathway are activated in this disease? Like, if you are seeing someone in your family suffering from any disease, like IBS, small diseases like IBS or this and that, or big diseases like cancer, just think of what are the pathways, what are the what's the RNA profile, or what are the proteins in his body that might be activated or deactivated or upregulated or downregulated. If you ask question like this, you are there, right? Ask question like how immune cell changes over time. These questions are small, like how immune cells change over time. This may seems like a simple line, but I tell you, there are company who are just working on this problem, like how immune cells change over time. If I give you example, like there are treatments where if we give T regulatory cells or T cells which don't cause inflammation, then the disease, the symptom of disease may come down. But the problem there is the T cell is the immune cells, right? Immune cell, right? T cell, regulatory cells which are non-inflammatory can change to, or can transition to something called T convolution cell. So they are inflammatory. So if I'm giving a drug that this sort of T cell will help you mitigate your symptoms, but if they are changing over time, then I'm giving poison there. So the ask these questions, and as a biology I can ask these questions, but because I know the tools like Python, coding, and everything, I also have the bullets in my arsenal using which I can solve these problems. Like, if I tell you, how will someone go about dealing or solving this problem? First of all, they will sequence the the cells there. They will sequence the gene expression, the TCR profile there. When we are sequencing, it's not like we are sequencing only for single cell or only for 1 GB of data. We are sequencing for hundreds of GB of data. When we are sequencing for hundreds of GB of data, then there we will use Dockers, because we will have multiple jobs. We will use cloud because we will need big machines. We will use GitHub because we will have our scaled pipelines. The pipelines are basically, just think of the codes, right? Like 10 people have come together and written that code. So your question, how immune cell change over time, this will require everything from writing the code to sequencing and reading the code, and for processing the data, you will need to deploy something on cloud. You will need to run something on cloud. You will need to have big machines, right? And After you have the data with you, you being the biologist, you do have that superpower to make sense of that data. That data processing is a task. It took a big machines, many things like I told you, Dockers, cloud, other pipeline skills. But you, the biologist or the computational biology, do have that superpower that you can understand the data. Like if I tell you example of single cell transcriptomics, then you will know. If you don't know, if you are first year student or new here, or irrespective of the year, if you are starting new, then you will learn, you will understand what are the input files, what are the tools, what's the pipeline. And here again, I want to introduce you to another YouTube channel, which is Sabomix, where you will learn how to analyze this data. Processing this data require big machines. Analyzing this data, yes, require big machines, but requires people like you, people like you and me, who know what is this DNA, what is promoter, what is center dogma, these things. Okay, so most people, here I want to just circle back and point out this thing. Most people only learn how to code or use a tool, like just run the molecular docker or this thing, some code, ML code. But only few people can ask meaningful questions and think, visualize things, right? If you are able to do those things, then this is where you will shine. Okay, and here, when you are doing hands-on thing, when you are analyzing the data, you have those technical skills to make sense of that data. Okay, yeah. So up till this point, we are doing things which are in our hand, or which I can tell you that you can start these things, like start with basic coding. Think how you can use AI or ChatGPT to help you code. Then you write the code in ML. Just start the code in your local. Visualize thing, embrace the math. Like help, it will help you infer the results. Then you will go to the production. You will use big things because these are needed when you will ask domain questions, and you will solve them. These are the entry level things. I am smiling when I say entry level. Please don't get disheartened. Not all the things are that much simple, but yeah, these things are required. Then you are a researcher at this point. You have the skills to start with something called DNA or a question, analyze, process that thing using big machines, big things, big tools, and then analyze it. What's next? So here, this is this slide is not at all helpful, I guess. But when you are at that point that you are able to think, you are able to process the data and all, then this is the step where you should aim big. Like you should, when you know the biological domain, right? You know the coding, you don't know the data workflows, you think like a researcher, you are asking good questions, and you are going there and finding out the results for those questions. Then you are ready to contribute to the next things. Like uh, you have heard about alpha genome or alpha fold, which Google DeepMind has built. Yeah, to go to that level, you will need to start with these things which I have talked about. And as a biologist, you are like, the key message I want to give is, as the biologist, you are not left out of AI. We biologists are the reason why the AI is there in life science. And don't get scared by tools like ML or coding. Those are just the tools which will help you with the things, like from starting with your question, how to process that big things, and then make sense of that thing. And you are playing the central role there, right? and important links, just follow these right now, because I'm big fans of these folks as well. Like they have a tutorial about project in bioinformatics. They have tutorial about the things like Q&A sessions where they are talking about the mathematics things. Khushbu here will help you write code and give you biological inference. Tommy, just follow him on LinkedIn. He posts really good stuff there, and you can follow along other things on YouTube like machine learning specialization. All everything is free. So yeah, that's all from my side. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mr. Tushar, for breaking down the skill sets and learning journey so clearly. And it was super helpful for anyone who is planning to take their first step into AI-driven life sciences. So, how to build a strong portfolio and a smart way to break into this field. I'm sure our audience found this extremely helpful. Thank you so much once again for your session. And I do have a question, I think, for you, if you could have a look at this. So, this is what is the question from Geeta Patel. Based on your experience in applying AI and ML in healthcare, could you share what key technical or soft skills freshers should prioritize in 2025 to enter the AI driven drug delivery?
Okay. So first of all, in 2025, no one is doing things in small scale. Everything is we are doing in large scale. So I just want to repeat myself that the skill, the technical skill, apart from the ML and AI stuff like coding and all, the thing you should prioritize is building things on scale, how to use things like Docker, GitHub, and cloud, and how to analyze thing on scale. Soft skills, I don't know if you're talking about the behavioral traits or all, but I want to share a behavioral trait that you should be able to take ownership. You should be able to say that that's my problem and I will solve it. And also you should be little bit you should have little bit patience. Like sometimes something breaks and you don't know why that's breaking and all. So those sort of soft skills are needed. But yeah, technical skills, learn how to build and deploy and run things on scale.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Tushar, for answering that question. I'm sure, Geeta, you got the answer. We have one more question from Mr. Abdul Mubarak. I am interested in bioinformatics. Could you please tell me what are the skills I have to learn? I think you have elaborated on that already. I have one doubt about bioinformatician will be replaced by AI in future or not. Please answer.
Yeah. So when the calculator was invented, everyone thought that mathematics is solved. No, we asked better questions, right? So we are not asking 100 plus 200 plus 3. We are not asking that. We have gone to a much bigger problem, right? So with introduction of AI, we will not do things as we are doing, that's for sure. But it's not that we will get obsolete, right? We will ask better questions, we will solve them, and we will use AI. We will not be replaced by AI. We will use AI. I will give you example. Like there, in small things like I am doing, like there is like I was telling that T cell getting converted to some other sort of cell. There, in this pseudo time or this transition can also be tracked using ML. So that's a very small thing, and I'm using that there, and I don't even realize sometimes that yes, I am doing something ML related there. So we will not be replaced by AI. We will just start using AI, and we will use it to answer better questions.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Tushar, for joining us today. It was great having you here and hear from you. I think that's all for the questions for Mr. Tushar as he has to leave now. And thank you once again, sir, for your session.
Yeah, thank you.
So and now it's time to invite our third speaker. We are eagerly waiting to hear from him. And I'm getting a lot of questions from Dr. for not Dr. Neeraj. So students and audience, just to let you know that we'll be taking your questions, all your questions that you will have for Dr. Neeraj and Prodyot sir as well. So we'll be taking it at the end. Okay. So welcome, sir, and we are ready to hear from you. You may proceed with your session. Sir, you're on mute. Yeah, it's fine now.
No, yeah, no problem. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay, okay, great. Okay, so thank you for giving me this particular opportunity to speak in this particular forum once again. So I will just share my screen and let's start with the PPT. Okay, so hopefully my PPT is visible. Can anybody confirm that?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Okay, so good evening, everyone. So my name is Prodyot Banerjee. I'm a Biotechnica CRO scientist over here at Biotechnica Bangalore. Okay, so today, so first of all, let me thank all of the previous speaker for giving us such an what do you say, a knowledgeable insight about this particular field that we are already in. Okay, so continuing with the same, so I will also be talking on those tangents, obviously, but with a bit of a different outlook. Okay, so we'll talk about the presentation in a bit. So prior to that, so let's ask a question that yeah, of course, in today's session we'll be discussing about what are the pathways and what are the career pathways that we should follow to get your success in this particular field. But prior to that, as we are in science, we have a what do you say, uh, like most of the time we are asking that why. Okay, so why question. So let's understand that particular why in here as well, that why do we require this particular AI driven drug discovery. Okay, so what is AI driven drug discovery, what is CADD that people were talking about. Okay, so obviously we'll be just having a eye view or what do you say, your overview of the things, because our main agenda of today's is to discuss the pathways to success. Okay, so first and foremost, why do we require this AI-driven drug discovery in the first place? Okay, so we were having your traditional drug discovery, so which starts with your lead, what is it, lead identification. Then you have your pharmacokinetic and pharmacodynamic studies. So your preclinical studies, then you have your clinical studies, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Then you have your approval committees, different approval committees in different continents, like your in US you have US FDA, in India you have Cetisco, in the European continent you have EMA, and likewise. Okay, so in that particular process, where does this particular AI driven tech, or basically your bioinformatics based computer aided drug designing, falls into the picture? Okay, so first we need to answer that particular question. Okay, so just to answer that particular question, so basically it falls in the tangent of your R&D, the initial days. Okay, so initially in the initial days, the R&D used to take a whole lot of time to screen about the molecule. Let's suppose I start with a lead library of, let's suppose, 1 lakh molecules. It can be from a chemical, what do you say, like it can be chemical, what do you say, your leads, or like your synthetic leads. Okay, so it can be anything, but let's suppose I start with 1 lakh compounds, and if I want to boil down this particular thing to, let's suppose, a higher what do you say, to all the compounds where we will be getting higher results. Okay, possible higher results, obviously. Okay, so let's suppose I want to boil it down into 5 to 10 lead molecules that I can actually test in. Okay, so because testing all of the 1 lakh molecules in wet lab doesn't seem so feasible, isn't it? So that is why, so in that particular process it used to take a whole lot of time. Okay, so initially we had the library of drugs. Okay, so when we were testing them using wet lab experiment, that used to take roughly about like 7 to 10 years, just to give you a perspective. Okay, so it used to take 7 to 10 years. Whereas after the advent of your bioinformatics based CADD, we can do it in some months. Okay, or to like we can do it in, let's suppose, like 10 months. Okay, instead of 10 years we can do it in 10 months. And now with the advent of AI, we can do it in 1 month also. So that is the transformative change that we are looking onto. Okay, and that is why we were like all the speakers were telling that it is on a boom. Why? Because of this, because it has cut down the time tangent, obviously, as well as the money tangent. Okay, so this is or you say, those are the most important things that a pharmaceutical company looks into, that how much time you are investing, like investing to like come up with a particular drug, and how much money you are investing, isn't it? So if we can cut down on both of the tangents, so that would be of much help, isn't it? So that is the main purpose, that we, or the whole world is basically transforming from the classical drug discovery to bioinformatics based drug discovery, and now to AI driven drug discovery. Okay, so that is the need of understanding. So I just wanted to uh, like uh, portray that what is the need first. Okay, so let's establish the need first, then we will talk about why the career do exist in this. Okay, so yeah, so now basically again, to just to give you a perspective, later on I will move on directly to the pathway parts. Okay, so just to give you intriguing facts. Okay, so if you just know about Pfizer. Okay, so Pfizer, when they came up with your vaccine, okay, so COVID-19 or SARS-CoV-2 vaccine, so how did they manage to get the vaccine so fast? Thanks to AI based drug discovery. Okay, so the R&D process they did in roughly about 2 to 3 months only. Okay, so using AI based screening. So nowadays you also have virtual clinical trials, if you don't know. So I'm just telling, so virtual clinical trial is also a thing. Okay, so nowadays after the administration of the that particular drug in your cohort, you don't have to what do you say, see those people in person. Instead, you can use certain wearable devices like smart watches, or your like Fitbit bands, or like wearable devices. It can be your earbuds or something like that, which is AI enabled. Okay, so which will be giving your vitals to the app, and we have an algorithm trained machine, so that is your AI, so which will be taking the progress into account, that after getting that particular drug, they are like moving in a positive direction or a negative direction, because everything is a study. It is not that you will always move into the positive direction only. Okay, so that is there. Okay, so that is the need of the hour, and that is why this particular thing is on board. Okay, so now we have established the question that why we are studying this. Okay, now we will move on to why and how we can succeed in this particular field. Okay, yes. So now come on to the roadmap of AI drug discovery careers. Okay, so basically, first things first. Okay, so this is a very generic timeline, as you can see. Okay, so first, basically, you want to come up with a good education and skill set. Okay, so good education doesn't mean that like it has to be from a very premier institute, okay, or esteemed organization. It is not like that. Okay, so it is just that how much of a practical exposure you are having. Okay, so obviously, whenever we are talking about good institutes, they inculcate this particular skill set in their students. That is why they are pioneer in the business. Okay, but as a fresher, so your what is a main motive should be developing foundational skills in the field of your bioinformatics, let's suppose machine learning or chemistry or chemoinformatics, or nowadays we have the what do you say conjuncture of multiple fields. Okay, or the amalgamation of multiple fields, that we have an interdisciplinary field just like bioinformatics, which is a interdisciplinary field between your information technology or computer science and biology. Okay, likewise you can be a what you say a bio IT person, so basically you have a knowledge of machine learning as well as the master's level knowledge of your biology. Okay, so you can be from any field. When I talk about biology or life science, it is not required that you have to be from a certain field. Okay, but as we are talking about drug discovery, it is better that if you are from a pharma background of, or you understand the chemistry of the drugs or the interacting molecules better, so obviously good. So just to give you a perspective, you can be a expert in your computer aided drug designing and discovery. Initially you need to know what is a computer aided drug designing and discovery, then you can utilize the AI ML tool to fasten that particular process or to automate that particular process. Okay, so first you need to know the basics, then you can automate. Do you follow? Okay, so the basic understanding is foremost requirement. Okay, and for that, for bioinformatics, you can learn the skills of, as I have already told you, like computer aided drug designing, in which falls your docking, then your simulation, and then your postdoc analysis, this that. Okay, so obviously virtual screening, or what is your different tools that are available for your pharmacokinetic analysis, pharmacodynamic analysis, like your admet properties. Okay, so toxicology or toxicophore studies. Okay, those things are there. Okay, Then coming on to your machine learning, in machine learning, you can just simply start with the basic languages that all the previous speakers also told you about. That is your Python and R. Okay, so Python and R. So why Python and R? Okay, so there are a whole lot of language in this world. Why to learn Python and R? Okay, because the libraries in the Python and R supports the cause. Okay, so because whatever we are trying to understand, okay, so in your biology, okay, so AI driven biology, or you say in the bio IT field, so everything is being supported by the libraries over there. Okay, so you have biopython package or bioconda package. Okay, so that will help you in this. Okay, so in R you have your multiple visualization tools, then your analysis tools, just like your deployer in R. Okay, then you have visualization tools like ggplot, this, that. Okay, so slowly and gradually we'll learn, but obviously, so you have to start via this means. Okay, and the previous speaker has told you about multiple YouTube links, isn't it? So I can assure you that if you take up our course, so all of those YouTube videos can be listed out, and we will provide you a holistic overview on all of the things that do follow. Okay, so we do cover all of those things. Okay, from basics to advanced. Okay, so not only with our this course, but also for all of the courses that are there in biotechnica. Okay, so we always starts with your basic, and gradually, slowly and gradually move on to the advanced part of the things. Okay, so if you have taken any course in the past, you will like follow my words. Okay, so now coming on to your practical experiences. Okay, so obviously getting a skill set or basically education on something doesn't vouch for that you are also ready for the practical aspect of the things. Okay, so you need to gain a hands-on experience. That is where the internship, okay, that is where the internship as well as handling live projects, okay, live projects comes into play. Okay, because once you do the things practically, there is no alternative to that. Okay, so no one can make you learn in a better way, in the way like you are solving the problems in the real world. Okay, so real world exposure is a must have for all of the people out there. Okay, and this is the way how you're gonna learn. Okay, so yeah, so practical exposure is there, and from there comes the career entry. So you have done an internship, you got an experience later, you got some a skill by the side of yours. Okay, then you have your live project you have handled. So when you come for a what do you say career based interview or this that, so you will be fairly confident to address all of the questions asked by the interviewer, because you have actually handled those problems. And in the interview, okay, the interviewer always tries to see that what kind of problem solving attitude do you have. Okay, so did you solve any kind of a real life problem that you came across? Can you give an example? Can you give a case study regarding the same? Okay, so in that particular way, okay, so you can get to a like career entry point. Okay, so obviously career entry point is very important, because after that you will be gaining experience, because in this particular field everyone is asking that like for a job I need experience, for an experience I need a job, and vice versa, and the follows. Okay, that follows. So so that is the practical way of doing the things. Okay, so yeah, then after that, obviously once you are in the career path, so you are learning new things, obviously challenge yourself as well. Okay, so you challenge yourself, you learn new things, and that is the way to grow. Okay, that is the way to grow, and advancement is in this particular field. Why advancement? Because as we are talking about AI, bioinformatics, all those things. Okay, so this are, so if I just draw the graph, this is having an exponential growth. Okay, so you just have to grow in that particular same pace to catch up that. Okay, so you like let's suppose you are learning a certain skill set in this particular year, and you are not scaling up, so the like AI will not wait for you. Okay, so it will go and progress, because AI or your all kind of what do you say virtual machines. Okay, so with the advent of more advanced versions of your computational techniques, like your supercomputers is the past right now. So we are looking to quantum computers, and likewise. Okay, so certain what do you say your publicly available databases are also there for your supercomputers, like your you can pursue your diff doc, this that. Okay, in nvidia based server provided by MIT, so that is your Massachusetts Institute of Technology from the US. Okay, so likewise. Okay, so so that you can utilize AWS was so that is also a virtual machine. Okay, so that you can use. Okay, so from Amazon. Okay, so you should have a collaborative nature across different disciplines. Okay, so you might be an expert of certain things, so we do also handle multiple things, and we do also work with different experts of the field, because you cannot be an expert of everything. And the second thing is, at higher levels you have to be a master of something. Okay, so you are a jack of all trades, that's good, but yeah, so jack of all trades for entry level job, it's good. But when you are like going into particular thing, okay, so you have to be an expert of certain thing. Okay, so but still you have to broaden your boundaries to learn more things, and to collaborate with multidisciplinary what do you say, scientists, or basically like-minded people, to continue that particular specialization, or to learn something in the newer tangents. Okay, so that how that particular thing can improve your research. Okay, so always I get this particular question, so I am when I'm taking a AI based thing, so people from the what do you say, your let's suppose agriculture would be asking how it is going to help. So I'm telling you all the things that AI is capable of. Okay, so you are the field expert. Now you think that how it is going to help. I can give you certain examples, but you are the field expert. You can think that, okay, so the principal component analysis is there. Okay, so how this particular thing I can utilize in like your crop betterment. Okay, or I can use certain algorithms to do forecasting of how it will rain. Okay, or this that. Okay, or like pest resistance I wanted to analyze. Okay, those things. Okay, that can be done. Yes. So that is the overall overview when you want to grow in any of the what do you say fields. Okay, but here we are talking about drug discovery. So I have already told you about certain skill sets. As a bioinformatician you should know, as a AIML engineer you should know, and what are the type of expertise you can gain, and where can you get the internships from. So more about that in the next slides. Okay, so yeah, so student opportunities, as most of you are a student. So by student I do not mean that you have to be a 12th student or a bachelor student, master student. We cater to doc, postdoc, everyone. Okay, so you can be a student in any part of your uh, at any timeline. Okay, so at any phase of your career. Okay, so you might be a established scientist in your wet lab, so you want to gain some expertise in your dry lab. Okay, so still you can look for opportunities. Okay, and with that particular note, let me end that particular debate that wet lab better, dry lab better. Okay, so it is not that we are not here to compete. Okay, that wet lab is better or dry lab is better. Okay, so dry lab is basically finding ways how the wet lab things can be brought in fastened. Okay, so fastened or automated. Okay, so we should have a collaborative approach always. Okay, so you should not always fight upon that wet lab is better, dry lab is better. Or if you are already a wet lab scientist, or let's suppose a wet lab based student or doing some kind of research. Okay, you are a researcher. Okay, so if you can learn in silico based techniques as well, so it will help you in multiple folds. Okay, so it is not that you have to leave the wet lab field, mind you that. Okay, yeah, so you can integrate both of them and take the advantage of both of them. Okay, because when I speak about R&D, if I have to test those drugs, okay, so in the wet lab experimental techniques I can do that. Okay, so I can use what do you say, live animal models for that. Okay, cell line models for that in preclinical trials. Later on obviously I'll be testing it in the humans in the clinical trial phase 1 2 3. Okay, but I can also do it in silico as well. Okay, in the in silico I can validate it using your molecular dynamics simulation, and nowadays automated part of that has come in, like AI based or AI assisted simulation or AI assisted docking are there, so that you can do all the things much faster. Okay, so yeah, so that is it. Okay, so now coming on to how to build the career. Okay, so basically internships and your academic pathways. So we'll discuss about that. Everything is written over here. I'm not going to read all of this. Okay, so basically you are having your NVIDIA based Clara Health. So that is a Clara Health particularly is specific for your medical imaging and genomics. Okay, so if you intend to know more about it, you can simply search on this. Okay, so NVIDIA has many of their AI trained models. One of them is Clara. Okay, which specializes in your genomics and medical imaging. Okay, so for medical imaging, let's suppose we are using convolutional neural network to basically analyze that the progression of a cancer, or let's suppose I want to do a risk risk group stratification of the patients. Okay, so in that particular tangent, this particular AI app can help me. Okay, and this is a web server. Okay, so everyone in the world can access it. Okay, irrespective of any kind of your system you are using, be it your Linux, Unix, or your Mac, Windows, whatever. Okay, so that is the advantage of a web server, because it is live in the web, anyone can access it. Okay, so then you have like a Genentech AI like residency. So these are the basically different internship programs. Okay, so we also have our own industrial research program where we handle live projects. Okay, so yeah, that is there. Okay, we have like CRO parts as well. Okay, in Biotechnica, so you can also consider joining us for the same. Okay, then NIH, National Institute of Health, summer internship is there. Okay, so from the US government. Okay, then AstraZeneca AI, so that is also your pioneer pharmaceutical giant from the UK. Okay, so that is there. So you can also join their internship. Apart from that, you have like your Agnita AI is also there. So Schrodinger is there. Okay, so there are many opportunities. Now coming on to your academic research opportunities. So yeah, so this are basically for your live projects and internships where you're gonna get the experience, hand-on exposure. Does that? Okay. Apart from that, you can also get a hand-on exposure from the government-based project or the industrial research academic research part also. So there you have the MIT, so Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Okay, so then you have Broad Institute. Okay, so Dr. Neeraj has also talked about the same institute. Okay, so obviously the premier institute will remain premier. Okay, so everyone will be talking about that. Okay, then you have Oxford Targeted Drug Discovery Institute. Then you have Francis Crick Institute for Bioinformatics. Okay, then coming on to India, because we are sitting in India, let's talk about some Indian institutes, premier institutes. So you have your TMC, that is your Tata Memorial Center, for particularly pertaining to cancer research. Okay, then you have your ISC. Okay, so based out of Bangalore. Okay, then you have AIMS Delhi. Nowadays we have AIMS in multiple geographical locations of India, but the main aims would be AIMS Delhi. Then you have multiple CSIR bodies, ICMR bodies, DBT bodies. Okay, so then you have needless to say IITs, NITs. Okay, ISERs, STIFers. Okay, Tata Institute of Fundamental Research. Okay, then you have ISI, that is the Indian Statistical Institute. Okay, that's in Kolkata. Okay, yeah. So those are about the different internship programs and the academic research opportunities that you're getting globally, because we have global audience as well as Indian audience we cater to. So yeah, so some for all of you. Okay, so yeah, so now coming on to your professional transition strategies. Okay, so we have talked about all those things. So let's suppose you took one of the internships, then after that, what's the career path? Okay, so let's suppose you did one of the internships, you gain some experience, hands-on experience. Now what to do? Okay, so now basically, let's suppose you crack an interview and you are already in the industry, then you how you're going to transform. Okay, it is not that everyone is a fresher. So let's talk about professional transition strategies. Okay, so internal career pivots that you can do. Okay, like you are already a wet lab based biologist, so you can basically incorporate your dry lab based techniques or in silico based techniques to basically fasten that particular process, automate that particular process. Okay, because we are dealing with a whole lot of data that the previous speaker also told you about. Okay, so because we are talking about genomic data in billions. Okay, so and in computational memory it will be in like terabytes. Okay, so yeah, likewise. Okay, so that is why you can use cloud based system as well if your personal computational system is not compatible of doing those particular analysis. Okay, so that option is always there. Okay, apart from that, you have specialized boot camp you can be a part of. Okay, so as I said, you need to upgrade yourself. How to upgrade yourself? Just by following the news? No. Okay, so just you see that, yeah, so the transformation is happening. So if you want to get a hands-on, obviously every time and again you should take an internship. It is not the right way. Okay, so you can take that is okay, but if your time is not allowing, so you can be a part of your multiple your your boot camps or basically competitive exam, like competitive, not exams, basically competitive outlooks that you follow in your Kaggle, then your GitHub you can be a part of. Apart from that, your drug discovery specific what do you say your boot camps are also there, like your health data science for your 12-week program they have. Then you have a very fascinating company from the UK, that is your Benevolent AI, also have their academy to support this particular cause. Okay, so likewise, okay, so you can follow those. Okay, so now coming on to your supplementary certification courses or basically certificates, because see, you have the skill, I do understand. Okay, but the HR would be asking that like show me before going for the interview you need to produce a document, isn't it? So for that obviously you need to get the certification as well. Okay, so for the certification course, it is not that how many certification you are having that proves your knowledge, but it shows that particular how much kind of a dedication you are having, that you are always have a zeal to learn new things. That is why you are taking up so many different certification courses and trying to justify all of those, and now you are having a holistic perspective of all the things that follows in that particular field. Okay, so basically your like deep learning.ai is ml algorithm like ml course you can follow. Apart from that we have our own, so that is your biotechnica's AI in pharma and drug discovery. Okay, so we have a drug discovery course, we have a tailor-made course for your pharma, in AI in bioinformatics is also there. Okay, so yeah, then your Imperial College of London, so very famous college as you understand. Okay, so Imperial College of London also provides some machine learning, what do you say, and health care based certificates. Apart from that, if you want to learn certain thing, obviously for free you can learn to a certain extent. And like NPTEL can also help you. So the courses from IIT, but obviously that has certain restriction because they're free. Okay, so emphasize upon obviously your experimental design, hypothesis testing. Okay, so these are obviously a higher order words. Okay, so that you might not be relevant right now. Okay, but as you follow this particular career path, so this particular thing you can basically follow that. Always we are talking about the practical aspect of the thing, how to articulate a particular workflow, how to follow that, how to come up with a new hypothesis. Okay, and how to justify that particular hypothesis. Okay, to get on to the publication part of the things. Okay, yeah, yes. So now coming on to building your portfolio. Okay, so portfolio and what? So we are talking about the transition of the career. So in that, if you are transforming your career to your in silico based techniques or particularly AI, so it is a unsaid rule that you have to be a part of some of the competitive platforms out there. Okay, so some of them I have already named from the likes of your repositories, like your Kaggle is there, GitHub is there. Okay, so apart from that, your Dream Challenges is there, like your IDG Dream drug kinase binding prediction is there. Okay, then you have your this particular protein prediction, what do you say, competitive exam that is called is critical assessment of structural prediction. Okay, so this is also used by all of the pioneer in the industry, like your AlphaFold. Okay, AlphaFold, everyone must be understanding that is the most sophisticated tool out there right now to what do you say, come up with the protein structures, basically to identify or basically to predict protein structures. Okay, and in that particular tangent, when we are talking about, let's give you a trivia. Okay, so on AlphaFold, obviously it got a nomination for the Nobel, and apart from that, obviously it is maintained by your Google's DeepMind. Okay, so DeepMind is like UK based company, so that is like acquired by the US based company Google. Google's mother company is Alphabet, as everyone knows. Okay, so basically this particular AlphaFold in the year 2023, 2K23, so it has basically modeled all of the protein the that is known to humankind. Okay, all of the protein names that we know till this particular date, all of them or all of their structures, the wild type I'm talking about, obviously the mutant is not possible, there are endless mutants for a particular wild type protein. So all the wild type proteins are being procured or being modeled on the AlphaFold. So that much of a difference it is creating. And just to give you a perspective, if you have to procure a wet lab based structure of protein, so it might take 5 to 7 years for you to procure using experimental techniques like your X-ray crystallography, NMR, cryo, electron microscopy or electron microscopy. Okay, so whereas the AlphaFold can do it in minutes. Okay, so in 7 minutes, 5 minutes, okay, likewise. Okay, and so you will be like asking that what is the accuracy? So it can go up to 98% of accuracy, and the paper is published in Nature. You can study. Okay, and you understand that Nature is the most revered journal. If it is published in that, it has a thing to buy. Okay, so now coming on to your open source contributions. So why open source? Because as a fresher, you will be mostly looking at this particular things, that what are the sophisticated tool but are available for free. Okay, so some of the examples are this. Okay, like your deep charm is there. Okay, for your like a molecule generation. Okay, using machine learning. Okay, so lead library preparation using machine learning, you can say. Okay, then your pi biomed. Okay, so like pi biomed, obviously pi, when the name is pi, obviously it is a package from the Python. Okay, so you can use this for your molecular descriptor calculations. Okay, apart from that, I have already told you AlphaFold. It is used for the your protein structure like prediction database. It is a, nowadays you also have bolts too. Okay, from bolts too. So AlphaFold can only predict the structure of the proteins which we know of. Bolts 2 can even predict the structure of the proteins which you don't know of. If you, even the protein, like the sequence, if we don't have like the full sequence, still Bolts is capable of doing that, or to predict it with a higher accuracy, to come up with newer proteins. Okay, so where you can find it, the same MIT site I was talking about. Okay, so MIT powered by NVIDIA. Okay, so you can use that particular site to go and do the bolts, as well as a diff doc you can use for your docking purposes. That is also open source or freely available. Okay, then open target is there for your target identification platforms. Okay, so and needless to say, whenever the we are talking about projects competition, so obviously the Kaggle and the GitHub will always be on top. Okay, because those are the most highestly revered what is a repository. Apart from that, it also acts as a problem solver, or you can basically do some, what do you say, problem solving using that. Okay, and you can find like-minded people, or what do you say, scientists who can solve your problem over there. Okay, so basically a field of experts. Okay, so now coming on to your networking. So this is very important. Okay, so in needless to say, so in all of the, what do you say, fields out there in this world, networking is very important. So you stay connected to the people of that particular field. Okay, so then you join multiple communities of the like-minded people. It is not only about the like-minded people or about the like-minded discussion, but there you will be getting a highly experienced professional who can guide you on that particular front as well. Okay, so the key conferences, you can be a part of key conferences, like globally you can be a part of key conferences. Okay, so every time the conferences are changing. Okay, so every time a new conference is coming on to, okay, so you can follow whatever is the latest, so you can follow that. Okay, apart from that, professional groups you can be a part of. Okay, so so out of which you can be a part of a LinkedIn group, or you can prepare a likewise you prepare your CV. You should have a good profile or a outreach in your LinkedIn, so can you can so that you can reach out to the people, okay, of the industry. So in order to get some job, in order to get some networking going, in order to discuss something with the experts. Okay, so those things. Apart from that, researchgate communities. Okay, so this is very specific to the obviously publication and this that. Okay, researchgate communities there. So then you have bioinformatics.org forum. Okay, so that is there. Okay, then knowledge resources. Okay, so these are the different knowledge resources. It is not that the knowledge resources can only come from writing this that, so it can be a part of a podcast, it can be part of a newsletter, so you are getting some new discovery based things. Our company also have his own newsletter to tell you about what are the latest advancement, and we are constantly trying to basically come up with those particular course which holds more true to the industry. Because as per the newsletter, we also see that where the new research gap is being created and how can we fill that particular gap. Okay, so that is there. So now coming to your, of course, DeepMind. So that particular Google company, so that has developed your AlphaFold, then Alpha Messense, then your Alpha Genome, all of that. Okay, so you can take up their particular healthcare blogs that they post. Okay, So just to keep yourself updated that what's going on in the field, and with that particular thing you can scale yourself. Okay, the scalability is very important. Okay, yeah. Now coming on to your like finding and landing your first job role. Okay, so what are the different types of entry level jobs that you can get? Okay, so the like salary tangent has already been discussed by Dr. Neeraj in the previous speaker, the first speaker. Okay, so yeah, so specific job platforms, just to know about previous to job, you need to know the job boards, no? So where you can find a job or who are posting about the jobs. So obviously you have the likes of your LinkedIn, then like biotechnical job portal is there, biospace is there, nature career is there. Okay, aijobs.net is there. Okay, so this what are they specializing at? So it is written over here, you can read. Okay, so then search term basically means the keywords that you can use. So basically to search. Okay, so this is also called as your prompt engineer, or how to write a prompt, or how to write a keyword in your basically search engine, so that you can come up with relevant results. Okay, so this is also a very important thing, okay, of networking. Then coming on to your top entry level positions that you can follow. So starting from your research associates in the government organization or your private organization, likewise. Okay, then your computational chemist, then your chemoinformatics expert, AI engineer, data scientist. Okay, CRO scientist, or your drug discovery scientist. Okay, so likewise junior data researcher or data scientist. Then you have your drug discovery researcher. Okay, so AI research engineer, pharmaceutical engineer, then your bioinformatics analyst. Okay, so obviously, so when we talk loosely about your scientist, engineer, analyst in the same picture, it is not that you can straight away the first day you can become a scientist, or become a particular get a very high position. Obviously there are different ergonomics of the positions. Okay, so you have like start with a your like analyst position, then you can later on move to the engineer, that where you can develop the algorithms, and post that you can go on to the hardcore research, where you can become a scientist, where you have multiple data concerning to your multi-omics. Okay, so everyone was talking about multi-omics, no? So multi-omics is very important. Okay, so start, because we are biologists by core. Okay, wherever we are talking about drug discovery, everything in this world, whatever we are talking about, falls under this particular bigger umbrella called as your multi-omics. Nothing goes beyond your genomics, epigenetics, transcriptomics, proteomics, and metabolomics. Okay, so all kind of research that we are doing is within this particular umbrella. Okay, so if we want to identify a, let's suppose, disorder, so basic building block will be starting off with that, what are the variances causing this particular disorder, how the genetic changes has transformed or reciprocated transcriptomic level, then to proteomic level, and how that particular protein change has caused the functionality change of the protein, and then with that particular regard, it has also changed the what a cascade of reactions that follows in the metabolome, or the cyclic processes that you have. Okay, so how the all of the things are being like what do you say, manipulated by a single malfunctioning, you can say. Okay, we need to identify that, and we need to help that particular patient in multiple ways that we can. That is where the drug discovery comes into the picture. So first you need to identify the receptor, where you need to bind your ligand, then you need to come up with what kind of a ligand you need to design based on the receptor, obviously, and based on the disorder. Okay, yeah, so that is there. Okay, so I will not take much of your time, so it is already being time. So yeah, so basically so last slide, just bear with me. So this is basically cross disciplinary collaboration that you can do. I have already told you that don't fight over this, that AI will take our job, this, that. Nothing is going to take no one's job. Okay, it is just that we need to upgrade ourselves, and we will be solving. I just absolutely believe in what Mr. Tushar said. Okay, that will be solving better problem. We are actually nowadays, okay, are solving better bigger problems with the advent of AI. Okay, so it is just like before he give an example of your calculator. Same goes with your computer. Initially when the computer came in, so everyone thought that computer would take everyone's job, it will automate all the things. It is not like that. Okay, so nowadays like a computer is a bare minimum that you are using, so the AI will become a bare minimum. and the first step of your ladder, so you can like progress from that, so you'll be solving better problems or bigger problems. Okay, so what are the different what do you say tangents where you can find a job in, or like you can collaborate, wet lab scientists you can collaborate with? We do so in our CRO. So okay, so like wet lab people, if they are not having an expertise in the dry lab, so you can learn that, you can do both of them by your own, so then you can become an expert overall. Okay, then clinical researcher, okay, so you can integrate this particular AI thing with the, what do you say, like having the clinical relevance, how it is actually affecting the ground level patients. Okay, let's suppose we talk about your genome wide association, genome wide association studies, or you are trying to do a sequencing. Let's suppose in the sequencing platform you want to do a whole genome sequencing, whole exome sequencing, this that. Okay, how is that relevant to a particular patient coming? Okay, so then you can a doctor would recommend, let's suppose, a particular targeted gene panel analysis for a cancer patient, let's suppose. Okay, so that which particular gene is responsible for him or her, what are the probability of that particular patient to transmit, or basically your inherit that particular thing to their offspring. Okay, so we need to understand that. Okay, so then AI engineer or the scientist, so as I have already told you, so their main job is to basically develop machine learning algorithm and live up to that particular thing, come up with a newer, what is a workflow. Okay, and publishing papers. Okay, so this that. Okay, then medical chemists, okay, so providing expertise in drug property and synthesis. Okay, then your genomic expert, as I have already told you, genomics holds the like building brick for all of the what is a multi-omics analysis that follows. Okay, that is why it is important. Okay, so the most successful career in AI drug discovery involve continuous learning. Okay, so this is very important. Okay, so always, it is not always, not only in this, but in this particular what do you say, transforming field, it is very important that continuous learning has to be followed. Okay, so effective communication, then your diverse team. Why diverse team? In order to learn from multiple different level experts and to integrate all of the expertise in one, and then you can shine higher, and you can what do you say, have translational research, you can do P4 medicine research, you can publish papers in your what do you say, good or good journals, or good impact factor journals like this. Okay, so that's it from my side. Thank you everyone for joining this what do you say, your live. So hopefully you have gained some new insights from this. Okay, so if you have any question, you can feel free to ask, or you can also write to us regarding the same. Okay, yeah, that's all. With that particular concluding note, I want to end the session over here. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Prodyot sir, for those very much practical and actionable steps that you explained so clearly. And as always, your suggestions on internships, projects, and the real world job strategies are truly valuable for all our learners here. Thank you once again for your session. Before we take up a
Thank you.
few questions, we are already crossed our time. So, a quick career alert: if you're serious about entering this field, then and want hands-on training in AI, ML tools, bioinformatics, cheminformatics, and real drug discovery techniques, then we have something special for you. Our AI, ML in drug discovery and cheminformatics course is starting from 31st July. It's a career-changing opportunity for you with hands-on practice, global level tools, training from researchers who have worked at CSI, Pennsylvania State IITs, and industry giants. Plus, you get a project experience, and this is what is unique. You even get a chance to publish your papers. So, if you're thinking about jobs in pharma, biotech, or research, this is your launchpad. So, since our time is little less, we will only take up two questions. I have a question directed to Dr. Neeraj from Geeta Patel. How do you see AI transforming personalized medicine, and what challenges must young researchers be aware of when bridging AI models with the patient specific treatments? So, Dr. Neeraj, sir, we want to hear from you regarding this.
I am audible, ma'am.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
So, hello Geeta, and thank you for your question, and thank you for attending the webinar. And regarding your question, so yes, AI is transforming personalized medicine. So yes, so in AI driven drug discovery and personalized medicine, there are various techniques which are transformative, like precision diagnosis, tailored drug selection, predictive modeling, clinical decision support. But there are strong challenges for young researchers, and you must be aware of while you are taking on AI driven precision medicine experiments or research projects. So few things you must consider, that there is a huge data limitation, because the high quality data annotated as well as the clean data is quite restrictive. Okay, and there are huge biases while you are training your AI model with the noisy data. Okay, and there is a huge problem with the explainability, and try to keep the explainability of your model while designing your experiment or your algorithm, and try to
Okay.
cope up with the ethics and privacy, and as well as go for clinical validation whenever you are performing such kind of research projects or experiments. Yes,
Thank you so
so
much.
these are
Thank you
few
so much,
things.
sir. Yeah, that was a comprehensive answer. Okay, I will take just one more question from Shweta Shri. So this is for Prodyot sir, I believe. As a fresher interested in AI/ML, what are the best ways to get started and increase my chances of joining your company? As a fresher, will training be provided or not?
Yes, so yeah. So Shweta, actually, yeah. So as a fresher, I have already told you about certain different how what is the roadmap like. Okay. So apart from that, so always you can start with your basic level coding. Okay, R and Python. Okay, so no need to worry. You can join us to learn the same. Okay, so we do provide. So we start from very basics, starting from what are IDs, what are integrated development environment, how do we code this, that, what is the meaning of what are the different, what do you say, your libraries out there. Okay, so those things we do train upon. Apart from that, why I'm always emphasizing upon coding, and every speaker is emphasizing upon coding, is because coding holds as a prerequisite to your AI and ML. Okay, so without the coding knowledge, you cannot basically build or basically train a AI ML model. So that is why, so step by step you need to go, and that is the first step. Okay, apart from that, like bachelor's or master's level knowledge of basic biology is required. So because when I'm telling you about your multi-omics, this, that, so you should be able to relate to that. Okay, so we can start with your basic form of coding, but the basic form of biology we anticipate that you know. Okay, and based on that we can build upon. Okay, so that would be the career guideline. So as a fresher, apart from that,
Thank you so
obviously
much.
taking up and getting some experience would hold true. Yeah. Yes, thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much, Pradut sir, for that answer. So that with that we come to an end. As we wrap up, once again a huge thank you to all our incredible speakers, Dr. Neeraj Kumar, Mr. Tushar Dhyani, and Mr. Pradut Banerjee, for sharing your time, your insights, and your career journeys. And to all our beautiful participants, thank you for joining us today. And remember, the future of drug discovery is tech powered, and it's open to those who start now. So stay curious, keep learning, and see you in our next session. Have a great evening ahead. Goodbye.
Bye bye, everyone.